9 News Plus.
Snow is moving in.
3. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Major winter storm headed our way for tomorrow night, for Tuesday night and your Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a full look at what you could expect, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty here as we take a look at that forecast. Let's start things off by taking a look at outside. It's hard to believe we've got a significant winter storm on its way with these relatively pleasant sky conditions as we speak. We've got a few high-level clouds overhead. I should say actually mid to high-level clouds overhead, but these have little to do with our upcoming snowstorm. This is actually a lot of what we call lenticular clouds caused by our westerly flow that's keeping us relatively mild on this Monday and on this holiday, of course, as well. So today is the calm before the storm, the proverbial calm before the storm. Winter storm watch, or I should say winter storm warning now in effect for tomorrow night. Major snow impacts coming up for your Wednesday. So there's looking red at that winter storm warning. That includes basically the entire Denver metro area, where we do have widespread expectations for 6 to 11 inches worth of snowfall. Most of that will be overnight Tuesday into Wednesday, and for your Wednesday morning as well. Into the mountains, we're also going to get a fair bit of snow. In fact, already starting to see it in parts of southwest Colorado, where we've got a winter weather advisory in that teal shading, and in that red we've got those winter storm warnings. That's where we can see in southwestern Colorado as much as 2 feet worth of snowfall. In fact, let me pull up the radar here quickly so you can take a look at the storm system as it approaches from the west. Here's a look at the radar. Just kind of loading up here. Southwest Colorado is seeing some of that light to moderate snowfall right now. The San Juans, the Grand Mesa, as well as on north into the West Elks. Again, this is where the snow is just starting to get going, and it'll spread north and east as we hit the overnight time frame. And it'll really kind of kick into gear as this primary storm system moves on in from the west. It's this kind of spinny thingy over the southwest, including California, Nevada, and Arizona. This is our main storm system that'll move on in later on this afternoon and tonight. So snow gets going after dark in earnest for us into the San Juans and western and southern Colorado. Then through the afternoon and into the early evening, that snow tries to spread east into the Denver area. We'll see that snow likely start mid to late afternoon tomorrow, somewhere between about 3 and 6 o'clock. So for today, temperatures upper 40s, partly cloudy skies. Enjoy the calm before the storm, because again, come tomorrow, not only will it be cloudier with snow developing during the afternoon, it'll also be much cooler. Today, probably our warmest day for a week plus for us here along the Front Range. It's going to be a prolonged cold and snowy stretch for us. So let's take a look at that forecast. Come tomorrow afternoon, there's that snow that is spreading on in from the south and the west. By about 3, 4, 5 o'clock, we could be seeing snow here in Denver. Heaviest of the snow overnight tomorrow night into your Wednesday morning. We'll see these kind of narrow bands set on up, and that's where we're going to see some of those highest snowfall accumulations. But actually, let me load this back up for you. Here it is. By tomorrow night, seeing that heavy snowfall, and then by about midday on Wednesday, the heaviest of the snow starts to kind of taper on down, and then we'll just see a few leftover flakes for the afternoon hours on your Wednesday. But I mentioned some of these kind of localized bands, and kind of backing this on up a little bit here. There it is. There's those kind of bands of really heavy snowfall along I-76. Where exactly those bands set up will determine who ends up with maybe, say, a foot or maybe even 15, 16 inches worth of snowfall versus quote unquote just 5 or 6. But I think most of us in the metro area are looking at 6 inches or more of accumulation. I think we're looking at a good 8, 9 inches of snow perhaps here downtown and at the airport. Most of us, again, 7, 8 inches of snow seems like a fair bet at this point. A few spots maybe a little less than that, especially west of I-25. But a good snowstorm, no doubt about it. In terms of those impacts, kind of summarize it for you. The worst of those impacts will be on Wednesday morning, bad commutes for Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning in particular. I think that Wednesday morning rush is going to be a disaster. Anybody who's traveling on Wednesday morning, I would anticipate just major issues, as we'll be looking at that snow at its heaviest just before and during that commute. And then we'll see things lighten up by Wednesday afternoon, but still those roads will be snow-packed and snow-covered. And I think at the airport, especially Wednesday morning, good luck getting out. I think we're going to be talking about school and flight cancellations. We're not talking about delays. I think what we're looking at on your Wednesday is more of cancellations rather than just delays. So if you can move that flight, move it to tomorrow or Thursday. I think Wednesday all day we're going to have backup issues as a result of all this. Maybe even some residual delays in your Thursday as well. If you really need to get out, move it to tomorrow. Move that flight to tomorrow. You should be okay for most of the day. try and get that flight done the earlier the day, the better. But I even think tomorrow night we should be able to get most stuff out of the airport. Maybe some delays for tomorrow night. But again, hopefully it gives you an idea about what to expect on the air travel side of things. Meantime, 7-day forecast. Hopefully, I hope you love those big, brown, nasty snow piles, because we're going to have them. That snow that we're getting tomorrow, it's not going away anytime soon. Temperatures stuck in the 30s. Another chance for snow on Friday, and yet another chance for snow on Sunday and into Monday. So the snow is not only going to fall, it's going to stick around for not just a little while, for probably a long while, which means I know in some cases, I know on my street, we just melted off a lot of that snow, and on those sidewalks as well. Well, we're going to get that again. Sorry. Reminder, I'm just the messenger here. So, another thing that's worth noting, that snow that we're getting, this is an unusual time of year for us to get a big snowstorm like this. In fact, if we get 7 inches or more of snow, which is what we're forecasting, I think we're going to get more than 7 inches of snow. If we get more than 7 inches of snow for us, that would be our largest 2-day January snowstorm in Denver since 1992, so over 30 years. It's been over 30 years since we've seen a snowstorm that'll likely end up being as big as the one that we're seeing now in the month of January. So January is not normally a particularly snowy month. It's our 6th snowiest month of the year on average. But let's close out with a little good news, and that is that tonight is our first 5 p.m. or later sunset of the calendar year. We will not have a sunset earlier than 5 p.m. until November the 5th. So some good news there, right? At least, well, if you like snow, I gave you a ton of good news just now. If you don't like snow, I just gave you some good news as well. So I always like to be a little optimistic, and if you're tired of the snow, you at least get those 5 p.m. sunsets back starting tonight. But of course, in terms of the winter storm, big expectations. Winter storm arrives tomorrow afternoon. I think we will see some impacts to that evening rush tomorrow. Get that rush done earlier in the day if possible. And then Wednesday morning is, I think, the worst of it. And then by Wednesday afternoon, that snow tapers on down. But I think that Tuesday afternoon and that Wednesday morning and that Wednesday evening, all 3 of those commutes, not going to be great at the very least, and probably a complete disaster. Kids, do your homework, but I do think we're talking about school cancellations on Wednesday. I think it's enough snow for that kind of event. I guess final thing, again, airports, I mentioned it, move your flight if you can. If you're flying out Wednesday, if you got a flight out on Wednesday, don't plan on getting out. I would not plan on it. It's probably, again, more cancellation territory than we're talking about just delays. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong about that, but I'd plan on cancellations rather than delays. So hopefully that answers all your questions about this upcoming winter storm. If not, Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin somewhere around here. She'll be in 4 and 5 today, and then Meteorologist Lauren Robinson's in tonight at 6, 9, and 10. Hopefully that, again, will keep you posted on the very latest with this impactful winter storm. Once again, I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Happy MLK Day, and we'll see you later on today.